get going. Let's get going.
You are listening to Breakfast with Tiffany with your host, Tyffanie Morgan.
That's right, Sweeties. It's me. It's me. Where's my notes? Thumbs. Well, hello there, my little sweeties, my little love muffins from all around the big blue world. This is your hostess, Miss Tyffanie Morgan, calling to you live from Kingston, Ontario, Canada, the home of limestone and the home to me, Miss Tyffanie Morgan. That's right, sweet peas. Hello, welcome to today. As technology starts to fail me again. What's going on here, technology? Stop failing me. Stop failing me. All right. Well, it's a lovely day. It's a lovely week. So first of all, I'm Tyffanie Morgan, drag queen extraordinaire here in Kingston, artiste. I've been performing and doing drag in this city, in this limestone city, for just over 20 years. Where am I? Is it 20 years? Let's just say it's 20 years. Oh, it's just over 20. I don't know, 21 years. I think it's 21 years. I had a birthday recently in March. What does that mean? In 2000 I started, and if I had a birthday in 2021, I'm 21. That's how it is. All right. Well, Sweepies, there's been a lot that has happened since last week. I first want to start off with pointing out that last week's episode, so I record this ahead of time, the day before it airs on CFRC. Sorry guys, it's not live, but it's what we have to do during these COVID times. We have to, do something that involves less physical contact with other people, especially when it comes to microphones and stuff like that. So, I own my own equipment here for obvious reasons, because I do drag shows. I do the drag shows in town here. So I have a little bit of audio equipment. What can I say? So I'm able to record this at home, and I broadcast this on Facebook Live from my Facebook profile, and sometimes I get to chat with people. Some people like to join me and chat in the chats. They are in the chats. But anyway, so last week I filmed, and it was on I recorded. It was on the Wednesday, and the Wednesday was bright and sunny and beautiful, and I was like, isn't it a great springtime? Isn't it great? Don't you just love springtime for Kingston and Tiffany? Anyway, but when this went live on CFRC 101.9 FM, when this went live on the airways, it was snowing. It was cold and snowing. So I apologize. I apologize for that. That's not what I wanted. So my apologies. I wish, I should have checked the weather, and actually, let me just do that right now. What's the weather going to be like when you actually listen to this monstrosity? Oh, it's actually going to be warmer than today. So there we go. Sunnier and warmer than today. Sorry, I got a little question here in the Grow With Me. So I finally, is that where I'm going to start off with? I guess I'm going to start talking about that first then. So it was the Easter long weekend. A lot of us have extra time off, and for a gardener, and as I said the week before, for a gardener, that this is a really important week, because it's a weekend, because you get to do all those gardening tasks. You're gonna put the greenhouse together, cleaning it up, prepping it up, starting your seeds. Um, maybe doing some pruning. So there's a lot of shrubs out there that can be pruned in the springtime. So you do those sort of prunings and stuff like that. Um, However, something something just there was an emotional stop kind of emotional thing that I had this weekend. I don't know if it was yeah, I guess it was emotions. It was just yeah, it was impossible to, you know, get up off the couch situation, right? It was all I could do was stream, episode after episode on the couch, and that was even effort to get up and get up out of bed and then put myself onto the couch. Yeah, it was a bit of a flump, as I call it, a bit of a flump. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. Um, I think it's like, some sort of emotional thing or something like that. But anyway, or an energy levels, people call them energy. my energy levels were low. And I just kind of gave into it. I just kind of gave into it for the weekend, which of course was also kind of like I was hating myself for it because I didn't get anything done. Nothing got done. Nothing got done that was on the checklist of things to do for a gardener, for Tiffany to do in Tiffany's garden. Nothing got done. Anyway, um, these things happen. These things happen. You just have to accept them. I will say it's so weird. It's so weird to admit this, but thank goodness I had work. Thank goodness on the Tuesday I had to sign in to work. I work from home, but I still have to sign in and socialize and talk to people because that slowly got me out of that um, little spell I was under there. That little spell I was under, I suppose we can describe it that way. So thank goodness for that. And therefore, um, at the end of Tuesday, I finally planted some seeds. Yes, finally. So quite a few of our Grow With Me challenge people have already planted seeds and they're already showing the fruits of their labors already. I finally put seed to soil yesterday and I recorded them and I think that was one of the reasons I was getting really caught up in trying to do something um, perfect almost. I'm not I don't see myself as a perfectionist, but sometimes you get caught up and you just stall. You stall and you're like you can't move forward. And it's in those instances that I would say, sweet peas, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. And that was the same advice I did for myself. I was like, okay, these videos are not going to be the high quality videos that you were hoping for. You're not even going to be in drag in these videos because I was hoping to be in drag and stuff. Um, I I was just like, no, let's just record them and get them on YouTube and share them with the Grow With Me people. And that's what I did. That's what I just, hit record on the phone. I did have the little, I bought a $20, oh goodness, sweet peas. I bought a $20 clip-on microphone that you can plug into your phone. Oh my goodness sakes, that does pick up everything. It picked up everything. It picked up all the heavy breathing. I'm a round girl. What can I say? I need to breathe. But it picked it all up. I did. And I was like, don't care. Posting the videos, and I've just shared them in the Grow With Me Facebook group. So if you don't know what Grow With Me is, if you haven't listened to Breakfast with Tiffany here on CFRC 101.9 FM, we are gardening is becoming a really big thing. And when we say gardening, we kind of mean like outdoor kind of gardening. But you can, if you have a patio, with planters or something like that, or a balcony or something, feel free to join along. So if you go to Tyffanie.com, so Tyffanie, Tyffanie.com, there's some posts on there about the Grow With Me. So I challenge people out there in the listening world, out there in the world, to let's grow some seeds together and share our experiences in growing those seeds together. And I suggested we grow some tomatoes, some cucumbers, some cucamelons or mouse melons, some nasturtiums. I'm just going off the top of my head here now. What were they? Oh, there's some pole beans as well. But whatever you're planting, join the Facebook group and share the growing experience out there. So I've shared those videos. So I planted the tomatoes, which are the variety called Church. I just call them Church tomatoes. They're beefsteak variety tomato. And I grew them last year because a neighbor gave seedlings to me that they had started off. Because sometimes, you have too many seedlings. You're like, oh, hey, neighbor, do you want a seedling? Oh, yes, I do. I'll put it in my greenhouse. I grew those. Those were the first tomatoes I grew in quite a few years, maybe 10 years or so. Because the growing environment I had was not really that good for tomatoes, but that was before a greenhouse. So I put them in the greenhouse. They did lovely, and they made they made really great sauces, tomato sauces. They like beefsteak tomato. I would never think about cooking it normally, or would you normally? Anyway, I'm questioning myself now. But they made really great sauces. So when I was given some seeds, I was like, yeah, let's try this out. My cucumber seeds did not come in the mail either. So this is all based on the fact that my seeds have not, the ones that I bought online have not come through the mail. So church tomatoes, and then there were two types of cucumbers that a friend of mine gave me too. Straight 8, which is a fairly uniform cucumber that grows about 8-inch fruits. And then there's a 7082. I think in the video I first started saying Z082, but it's 7082. And that is it's going to be an interesting variety. It has a bit of bitterness, apparently, to the flavor of the cucumber. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So they're finally in the dirt. Finally in the dirt. Yeah. What kind? And hopefully in about a week's time, they'll be popping out of the soil. We'll be also planting some cucamelon and stuff like that as well. So yeah, let's. So I'm just gonna go to the Facebook group and just take a look here at some of the conversations. Oh, okay. Yvonne's asking more about the church tomatoes. I don't know if you're listening in right now, but they're a lovely beefsteak tomato. They're the plant itself. So there's determinate and indeterminate, and those are the technical terms. But some people would see them as would call them as determinate is a bush kind of variety plant. And an indeterminate would be kind of like a greenhouse, quote unquote, air quotes, variety tomato. And what's the difference? Excuse me. So a determinate means that the height of the plant is fairly determined. It's fairly determined. It's whatever it is. It could be just like a meter. It could be 2 meters. Whatever. It has a limit. It has a max kind of limit of height. And an indeterminate type of tomato would just keep growing. Just keep growing more and more, up and up and up and up. And if you've seen photos of commercial greenhouses with tomato plants, you'll see that, yeah. They can just keep going up and up and up and up. But all tomatoes tend to bush out. They tend to have little suckers and stuff like that. I think this, I thought church tomato was a fairly determinate, but the height of it was pretty high. It hit the top of my greenhouse ceiling. I will tell you, it hit the top of the greenhouse ceiling. The another different tomato variety that I grew last year was indeterminate, and it popped through the ceiling of the greenhouse and started growing on the outside on the roof. It was a bit much. It was a bit much, sweet peas. All right, so you're listening to CFRC 101.9 FM here in Kingston, Ontario, and you're listening to me, Tiffany Morgan, drag queen extraordinaire. Um, yeah, so I was talking about this weekend where I didn't do anything. I barely got off the couch, barely got out of bed, let alone. And I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what that wall was. What wall did I walk into and just fall backwards, sort of thing. And thank God I got out of it. Thank goodness I got out of it. So I was thinking it probably has something to do with the news because we are in what is this? Like I'm calling it lockdown 3.0. The premier was calling it emergency break, an emergency break, whatever that means. I love how they're trying to brand these little breaks. They're trying to avoid the term lockdown. They're like, oh, this is just the emergency breaks, just the emergency breaks. This is not lockdown 3.0, but it's lockdown 3.0. Like we're back into almost full shutdown here. I'm getting frustrated, but I don't know how you are doing, sweet peas, but I'm feeling frustrated. I'm feeling frustrated. I understand. Like there's the not the comprehensive brain. There's the logic part of the brain, and you're like, yeah, we need to do this. We need to get numbers under control. We need to try to stop the variants from taking a foothold, all that sort of stuff. That's the logic brain. But the emotional side is like, not again. Not again. Like, oh my gosh. It just hurts. It just hurts. Especially because like I we already like couldn't visit or be with people during the Easter long weekend because of lockdown and stuff like that. And other people have their own little family things to be doing. You know, yeah. Anyway, I think maybe that's more why. Now that I'm saying this out loud, that's probably more why. Because I was having turkey dinner by myself. That's probably why I was anyway. But it's tough. It's tough. And I think we all go through different acceptance phases of these lockdowns. So if you have friends and family out there who just check in on them, see how they're doing with this announcements. There have been more announcements as I speak. There have been a few new announcements that this is more than just an emergency break. It is more of a lockdown because there's more restrictions coming down, and Toronto schools are now closed to in-person learning. Um, there may be other things like that in other jurisdictions. I don't know. This is just I that's what they're saying. That could be a possibility. Don't know about Kingston yet. But if you go to CFRC.ca, like if there's any press releases that go out, we publish them there as well. So yeah. So just reach out to make sure to see how everyone's doing, boo. How you doing, boo? How you doing, sweet pea? Just make sure that they're in a good headspace. Uh, but maybe yeah, we can focus on gardening. We can focus on gardening. As I babble on, watch out for each other. We gotta watch out for each other. Phase 2 for vaccines is out now, sweet peas. Isn't that great? I don't think I'm some. when they talk about these phases, it's clear there. I think it's very clear that within the phases, there's phases within phases. So I will be eligible at some point in phase two. It may be later in phase two that I'll be eligible. But if you go to the ministry, sorry, the Ontario.ca website, you can pop in your postal code and see who are eligible right now in phase two to get the vaccine. And if you have a loved one out there who is, I think they're now accepting 55 and older now in Kingston. Again, check the website, but book an appointment. Book an appointment because there's a lot of more elder people out there who haven't gotten the vaccine yet, and yeah, if that's a family member of yours or something like that, sign them up. Sign them up and take them down. Take them down to get the vaccine. Vaccines are good. Vaccines are good. I want to also mention that if the CFRC, there's been a few announcements with CFRC. So great campus and community radio. It's a great way to connect the local community. So they're still looking for volunteers for the multicultural team. The multicultural team. So go to cfrc.ca for more information about those volunteers. So that helps with the programming and whatnot with CFRC. That's great. There's been some jobs posted. There's been some summer jobs posted. Summer jobs at CFRC. So, if you're a student out there looking for a summer job, and I'm sure most of these jobs you can probably do remotely as well. But yeah, so those are on cfrc.ca. Some other announcements as well. So the Kingston Arts Council, they're releasing a lot of information or a lot of news about their grants for local artists, and there's been a few announcements out there. There's quite a few awesome little programming. There was the one. Is it through Kingston Arts Council? Anyway, it's through the Grand. There was a artist in residence, like weekly sort of thing. So do some Google searches if you're an emerging artist. That's not for established artists. If you're an emerging artist, I think take a look at that. But there was a one for established artists, a grant published, and I don't have it up on my computer right now. But yeah, that's for established artists. So if you're an established artist and you're looking to expand your field because of or whatever during these times, if you're affected, take a look at the grant. There's obviously eligibility requirements and stuff. Take a look at that on their website. There's also the city of Kingston is doing tree planting, and this is how I'm going to tie it back into gardening. I'm always tying it back into gardening now because it's the gardening season. So trees, the city of Kingston is offering trees. Actually, I'm going to go to cfrc.ca and bring up that application there. So city offers residents trees at a discount to grow Kingston's tree canopy. So this is a program, neighborhood tree planting program to encourage you to plant trees on your property to help grow the tree canopy of Kingston, which is always a great thing, because yeah, there's a lot of trees, trap the carbon emissions, and trees help shade our cities from harsh, intense sunlight during the summer months and tries to keep us cool. And actually, so I'm going to take a little moment here and talk about this. So they have deciduous trees. So those are trees that lose their leaves in the fall. Yeah. Sorry, there's one or two exceptions that they lose their leaves in the springtime once the new leaves start growing. But anyway, I won't get. Let's not get confused here, Tiffany. So deciduous trees, those are the large leaves that fall. Conifer trees, those are the needles and stuff like that they don't that they tend not to fall in the fall, with one or two exceptions as well. But yeah, so the deciduous tree is 4 meters tall. Conifer is 1 meter tall, and the costs are $10 for conifers, $17 for deciduous trees. If so yeah, it's a great idea. So trees add a lot of environments for some of our wildlife as well. But if you also plant them around your house appropriately, they can help. They can help with heating and cooling. It's environmental things. So if you plant deciduous trees with the broad leaves that drop them in the fall, if you plant those more on the south side of your house, um, and I'm not saying right up against the house, do not, but more on the south side of the house, they will help shade your house. So therefore, in the summer months when it's hot and sunny and stuff like that. So if it's shading, it's helping to keep your house cool. If you plant conifers, more on the north or the northwest, wherever your prevailing winterly winds are, if you plant them more on those sides, it can help break the wind, and therefore help keep your house warm because you won't have those gusts of wind trying to blow the heat out of your house, going through every nook and cranny in your house. So that it's a great way to help try to keep your house warm in the winter months as well. And when the deciduous trees drop their leaves in the winter, the sunlight comes right through them. So that sunlight will help warm your house when the deciduous trees are planted in the more the south facing parts of your home. Outside, obviously. Blah, 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 blah. But yeah, sweet peas, that's kind of what's going on with me. This coming week, what what grand plans am I going to make and not do? Because putting the greenhouse together was part of that grand plan. I think that's going to happen soon because goodness knows when you're starting seeds, you can run out of room, and it's great to have a greenhouse. I am very privileged that way to have a space for that. That's where I'll plant the marigolds that I have seeds for, that I save seeds for. I'll plant them directly in the greenhouse in little seed trays, and yeah. So cross fingers. Let's hope I can do that. But tune in for Tyffanie TV. So I'm still looking for drag performers who have videos. I'm looking for those out there in the world. So send them in to me. So Tyffanie TV is going to be on April 17th. It's an online program. We're going to air some drag performers doing their music videos, and then there will be prizes for them, and it's going to be great. So tune in April 17th for that. Go to Tyffanie.com. Oh, sorry. Yeah, is it on there? I'll find out if it's on there. But yeah, sweet peas. I'm gonna let you go. We need to wrap up. So what's going on here in the world? So I'm gonna go to outin.ca, your source for queer events going on here in Kingston. And look at that, Tyffanie TV is the only thing that's coming up. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so depressing. Is there anything else coming up? Oh my word. I think with this current lockdown, it's thrown a lot of people all over the place. I know BOA is still coming to Kingston. BOA is still coming, but not in April now. We've already bumped that back 1 month. We're now going to bump it back another month. It will be in at the end of last weekend of May. BOA, Canada's Canada's Drag Race Superstar is coming to Kingston, and go to Eventbrite and find information and buy tickets there. But that will be the last weekend of May. That BOA will be coming, not in April. All right, sweet peas. I'm going to go. I'm going. I give you my love. Mwah. You stay safe now, and like I said, give a call out to a friend or family members or something. Make sure they're doing okay. All right, sweet peas.